Thank you so much for choosing K24 TV and indeed for joining us here at K24 Newscast. My name is Bentura Komboka. Now let's take a look at what's shaping our broadcast at this hour. The hearing for the new university funding model begins with petitioners arguing that it will limit access to higher education funding. The Employment and Labour Relations Court declares the ongoing lecturers' strike unprotected, urging officials to return to the negotiating table. Piketoni Health Center reports a sharp rise in teenage pregnancies and early marriages with 52 cases, including a 13-year-old. Welcome to the program, and we start off by representatives from the Elimo Bora Working Group. A Kenyan lobby group are expected to appear before Justice Chacha Mwita to challenge the new university funding model. The group has consistently argued that the new funding model places excessive financial burden on students. The group has called for the return of the previous funding structure to provide more inclusive access to higher education. Let's cross over and listen in.
Provides for the function of the fourth respondent, and particularly in implementation of what is called the maximum differentiated unit costs, which we are referring to as the old model, Your Lordship. Differentiated unit costs, maximum differentiated unit costs. Without belaboring the court, Your Lordship, because my learned senior has already submitted on this. This is the legal basis on which the petitioners form the legitimate expectation, and which the country at large actually bases their legitimate expectation on. We submit that the respondents and the government in general have a duty, and that it is in the public interest that all laws and policies that are implemented must be in conformity to existing laws. They must be in conformity to.
And still on the education matters, the Employment and Labour Relations Court has intervened in the planned university staff strike, which was flagged off by the University Academic Staff Union Secretary General Constantine Wasonga on 29th of October 2024. The court has ruled that the strike as unprotected, restraining WASU officials from mobilizing members to participate in the industrial action. Nevertheless, the court has given WASU 14 days to respond to the notice, with a further mention set for November 28th. And still on the education matters, Education Cabinet Secretary Julius Migos Ogamba is currently facing intense scrutiny from the senators over the allocation and utilization of capitation funds, despite providing initial responses to questions posed by Senator Bonnie Khalwale. Concerns remains regarding the accuracy of the figures presented. Senators are particularly interested in the addressing of the apparent deficit in the funds and seeking clarification on how the ministry plans to rectify the situation.
Approved capitation rates to be provided by government, Mr. Speaker, for primary education is 1,420 shillings per learner per year. And for junior secondary school, it's 15,042 per learner per year. And for secondary schools, it's 22,244 shillings per learner per year. The first academic year, the allocated amount was 8,346,470,273.10. The actual amount disbursed for that academic year was 10,922,126,767. 2023-2024, the budgeted allocation was 9,476,460. For the academic year, it was 8,063,900,179. The amount disbursed was about 8.8 billion.
The situation on the report is acceptable, but on the ground, where the rubber meets the road, the situation is different, in the sense that in Kakamega and many other counties, literally all the heads of schools, they are waiting for money, which is not forthcoming. They're unable to fund the activities in the school, and children end up being taken at home.
Has the ministry done an impact assessment on the continued failure to meet the required budget for capitation? And if so, how many needy students have you captured who have fallen off the secondary school as a result of this?
Since the year 2019, 2020, 2021, 22, 23.
And in the ongoing KPSEA exams, Baringo County has recorded an equal percentage of boys and girls sitting for this year's Kenya Primary School Education Assessment KPSEA that started on Monday. County Commissioner Stephen Sangolo Kutwa, during a briefing last week, stated that equivalent number of boys and girls sitting for the KPSEA exams was a clear reflection and determination that parents in the county give equal opportunities to children of both genders. Baringo County has achieved a significant milestone in gender equality this year, with boys and girls equally represented in the Kenya Primary School Education Assessment KPSEA. Out of 17,905 candidates across 758 centers, 50% are boys and 50% are girls, marking a notable shift in the community's approach to education.
Katika sehemu hii kwa shule za KPSEA tuko na centers 758 na wanafunzi ambao wanafanya mtihani huo ni wanafunzi 17,905, ikiwa asilimia 50 ni wavulana.
They are very prepared for the exams. It has been a long journey preparing these candidates, and we are double sure they are going to do it very well, exceeding expectation.
County Commissioner Stephen Sangolo Kutwa highlighted this achievement as a reflection of parents' commitment to equal educational opportunities. At AIC Visa Oshwal Kabarnet, the county's largest public primary school, The principal, Elijah Bowen, reported that of the 205 candidates, 103 are boys and 102 are girls, a stark contrast to past decades when girls were often underrepresented. Bowen expressed hope for continued growth, predicting an increase in candidates from last year's 188 to potentially 230 next year.
Enrollment has been trending upwards. Like last year now, we had a lesser number, 188. But this year, we have 205. Expecting the coming year, with the enrollment which is on standby, we shall beat more than 230 2025.
This year's KPSEA represents a turning point for Baringo County, showcasing the community's dedication to fostering gender equality in education and empowering the next generation. And the National Assembly has rejected the Ministry of Energy's proposal to lift the moratorium on power purchase agreements, PPAs. Parliamentarians have criticized the PPAs for contributing to high electricity costs, which have discouraged investment and increased production costs. Speaker Moses Wetangula has assured the Kenya Private Sector Alliance that Parliament will work closely with them to address investors' concerns.
There are various legislative proposals and bills which seek to enhance the competitiveness of our country in the agricultural, health, education, energy, transport, finance, insurance, ICT, and other key economic sectors that are before the committees of the National Assembly for consideration.
Like Turkana signed a PPA that gave them 16 US cents per kilowatt hour, which was way above actually the gazetted tariff, indicative tariff. Today, just a few years down the line, the gazetted tariff for wind is 5.8, telling us that if we were a bit careful, then we could have saved 3 times. By just trying to project ahead and see also if it is a cost of equipment that is going down, we should also be able in a position to interrogate further.
The CS for Energy was here with his whole team, convincing Parliament that we need to remove the moratorium on IPPs, the Independent Power Purchase Agreements. But then there are certain things that we must study first as Parliament. We just can't remove it just because they've asked us to do. It is important. It's actually good leadership to remove them. But when we remove them, how do we actually create a problem?
And to security matters now, security has been beefed up at Angata Barikoi area in Transmara South Sub-County following on and off clashes between 2 warring communities. Speaking when he toured the area, Rift Valley Regional Commissioner Dr. Abdi Hassan said 4 people were killed, 10 injured, and several acreages of maize plantation destroyed in the clashes. He warned those who carry dangerous weapons like spears, arrows, and bows, with an aim of killing, that they will not be spared in the ongoing operations.
Shamba kama itakuja sheria na mpaka saa hizi naye tuhakikishe.
Lengo letu kubwa ni kuhakikisha kwamba kuna usalama. Sisi hatuko kwenye mzozo wa ardhi. Mzozo wa ardhi uko mbele ya mahakama, na kwa hivyo wajibu wetu kwa wakati huu sio kushughulikia nani mwenye shamba ama shamba kesi yake itakwenda vipi. Tumeweka mikakati kuhakikisha ya kwamba utovu wa usalama ambao umekithiri katika sehemu hii umekomeshwa, na tutaanza kushika doria usiku na mchana katika hiyo sehemu, kwa sababu ni location moja tu peke yake ambaye ni hii ambayo tuko hivi sasa. Angata Barikoi ndio iko na matatizo. Kwa hivyo tunataka kushughulikia kuhakikisha kwamba usalama katika sehemu hii umerudishwa na wananchi wanaweza kuendelea na shughuli zao bila kuwa na matatizo. Tutakuwa na kikao na wenzetu kutoka Nyanza ili tuweze kuzungumzia jinsi tunaweza kuhakikisha ya kwamba jamii hizi mbili ambazo zinazozana zinaweza kuishi.
And tension escalated at the Kisumu law courts after Judge Sharif Mwanaisha suspended a 2-month prison sentence for Kisumu County Finance CECM, Judge Okongo allowing him to opt for a 200,000 shilling fine instead. Okongo is facing contempt of court charges after he and Finance Chief Martin Okede reportedly failed to comply with court orders regarding claims of 16 million shillings in unpaid dues to a contractor, leading to the contractor suing the county government to obtain a payment for work completed.
After they had failed to comply with an order of mandamus issued by this court on the 5th of June this year that compelled them to pay the expired applicant a sum of Kenya shillings 21,000. Sentence was then scheduled on the 26th of September this year. On that day, the contemners did not attend court for purposes of sentencing, and the advocate, Ms. Odor, indicated that the second and the fourth respondents were away on official duty. Sentence of 2 months is hereby suspended until the 19th of December this year. The default sentence shall not be suspended. The sentence against the second respondent is also reduced to a period of 2 months, and the same shall be suspended until the 19th of December. The second respondent shall be released forthwith unless otherwise fully held.
Well, and with that, we take a short breather here at K24 News. I'll see you in a short while. Stay tuned.